February 14, 2000. Early morning hours. Multiple witnesses driving along Highway 18 in Shelby, North Carolina report seeing a young girl walking alone in the rain. It's dark. It's stormy. She's wearing white. She's carrying something. Several people see her. One witness sees her get into a dark green vehicle. Then she's gone. For 25 years, investigators have worked with those witness descriptions. Multiple people saw her. Multiple people saw the vehicle. But in 2000, the only way to turn witness descriptions into visual representations was through police sketch artists. Hand-drawn composites based on verbal descriptions. Subjective interpretations of what witnesses remembered seeing in the dark, in the rain, 25 years ago. Those sketches exist. They've been circulated for decades, shown on news programs, posted on missing persons websites, distributed to law enforcement agencies. But sketch artistry, even expert sketch artistry, has inherent limitations. It's interpretation. One artist might create a completely different sketch from the same description as another artist. Details get lost. Features get generalized. The human element introduces variation. For 25 years, that's been the best available option. Take witness descriptions. Create hand-drawn sketches. Hope someone recognizes the person or the vehicle. But recognition rates for police sketches are notoriously low. Studies show that even accurate sketches are identified correctly less than half the time. The human brain doesn't process sketch features the same way it processes photographs. Until now. In 2024 and 2025, artificial intelligence has revolutionized facial composite creation. AI systems can take verbal descriptions and generate photorealistic images that look like actual photographs, not sketches. They can create multiple variations based on the same descriptions. They can age progress those composites to show what the person would look like today, 25 years later. They can generate composites of vehicles based on partial descriptions. This technology didn't exist in 2000. The witness descriptions from 25 years ago have never been subjected to modern AI composite generation. Those descriptions still exist in case files, witness statements documenting what was seen that night. And in 2025, AI can finally turn those descriptions into photorealistic composites that might actually lead to identification. For 25 years, this case has been cold, largely because the visual representations of the person witnesses saw were limited to hand-drawn sketches. But AI doesn't draw. It generates. It creates photorealistic faces based on feature descriptions. And it's being applied to witness statements from 2000 right now. Before we go any further, I need to know something. Where are you watching from right now? Drop your location in the comments. Are you in North Carolina? Somewhere else in the United States? Another country? I want to see how many people still care about solving a case that's been cold for 25 years. And if you believe modern technology should be applied to every piece of evidence in cold cases, that 25-year-old witness descriptions can finally be properly visualized, that families deserve every possible effort to find answers, you need to subscribe to Cold Case right now. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that like button because it pushes this story to more people who need to hear it. We specialize in cases that went cold because the technology to properly analyze evidence didn't exist when crimes occurred. We follow the breakthroughs, the new tools, the modern techniques that are finally bringing answers to families who've waited decades. This case has been cold for 25 years, but the witness descriptions that could solve it have existed the entire time. They just needed technology to catch up. And in 2025, that's finally happening. Now let's dive into exactly what witnesses described, why sketches weren't enough, and what AI can do differently. On that night in February 2000, multiple witnesses saw a young girl walking along Highway 18. The descriptions were remarkably consistent. White clothing, dark pants, moving quickly, appearing distressed. One witness saw her walking, another saw her running. A third saw her get into a vehicle. The vehicle descriptions were also documented. Dark green, older model sedan, possibly from the 1970s or 80s. Witnesses described the general shape, the color, the approximate era. But in 2000, turning those descriptions into useful visual aids meant working with sketch artists for the person and relying on verbal descriptions for the vehicle. The sketches that were created showed a person. Generic features. the kind of composite that could match thousands of people. Witnesses looked at the sketches and said things like, maybe, possibly, I think so. Not definitive identifications, not the kind of recognition that leads to solid investigative leads. Vehicle identification was even more difficult. How do you sketch a car from a partial description seen briefly at night? Investigators could narrow down makes and models from that era that were dark green, but without distinctive features clearly described, the pool of potential vehicles was enormous. For 25 years, those limitations have constrained the investigation. The witnesses saw someone. The witnesses saw a vehicle. But the visual representations created from their descriptions weren't specific enough to generate the kind of recognition needed to identify actual individuals or actual cars. AI changes everything. Modern AI facial composite systems work differently than sketch artists. They're trained on millions of actual faces. When given descriptions of features, they generate photorealistic faces that look like photographs of real people, not drawing. The difference in recognition rates is dramatic. Here's how it works. Witnesses described features: hair length, hair color, face shape, eye spacing, nose characteristics. In 2000, an artist interpreted those descriptions and drew them. In 2025, AI takes those exact same descriptions and generates dozens of photorealistic variations, each slightly different, each looking like an actual photograph. The family and investigators can review all the variations and select which ones most closely match what the witnesses described. Then those selected composites can be refined further, adjusted for lighting conditions, for age, for any additional details witnesses remember. The result is images that look like photographs of actual people, not artistic interpretations. Quick question: what time is it where you are? Let us know in the comments. I'm curious how many of you are watching this thinking about how 25-year-old witness descriptions might finally generate useful composite images. The AI doesn't stop with creating current composites. It can age progress those images to show what the person would look like today, 25 years later. Someone who looked a certain way in 2000 will look different in 2025. AI can predict those changes. It can generate images showing what that person likely looks like now, accounting for aging, for changes in style, for the passage of a quarter century. This is crucial because even if someone saw the original sketches in 2000 and didn't recognize anyone, they might recognize an age-progressed AI composite showing what that person looks like today. The person might be living in the same community, might be someone's neighbor, co-worker, acquaintance, but they look different after 25 years. An age-progressed composite accounts for that. The vehicle descriptions can also be enhanced with AI. Witnesses described a dark green older sedan. AI systems trained on vehicle databases can generate photorealistic images of every dark green sedan from the 1970s and 80s. Instead of trying to mentally visualize what witnesses described, people can look at actual images and identify which specific make, model, and year matches what they might have seen or might have owned. This kind of vehicle composite generation is relatively new. It requires databases of vehicle images and AI capable of generating specific variations based on partial descriptions. But it exists now, and it can be applied to the vehicle descriptions from this case. The family has been advocating for modern technology to be applied to every aspect of this case. In recent years, that's included requesting AI composite generation based on the original witness descriptions. Those descriptions are in case files. They're documented. They contain specific details about features, about clothing, about the vehicle. All of that information can be fed into modern AI systems. The results aren't public yet, but the technology has advanced to the point where witness descriptions from 2000 can generate composites in 2025 that are vastly superior to hand-drawn sketches. Not because the sketches were bad, but because photorealistic AI-generated images are fundamentally different and produce dramatically higher recognition rates. If you're finding this valuable, hit that like button now. Every like helps this reach more people who might recognize an AI-generated composite when it's released. Your engagement keeps this case in public awareness. It pushes this story to people who might have information. It maintains pressure to use every available tool. So like, comment, and share. Beyond the person and the vehicle, there are other elements from witness descriptions that AI can help visualize. The clothing described that night, white shirt or jacket. AI can generate images showing exactly what different types of white garments look like in darkness and rain. This can help clarify what witnesses actually saw versus what they thought they saw. The location where witnesses saw her. AI can create enhanced visualizations of Highway 18 as it looked in 2000, helping witnesses pinpoint exactly where sightings occurred. Modern mapping combined with historical imagery can reconstruct the scene in ways that help witnesses remember additional details they might not have thought significant 25 years ago. All of this technology is being brought to bear on witness descriptions that are 25 years old. The descriptions haven't changed, but the technology to turn those descriptions into useful visual aids has advanced astronomically. What wasn't possible in 2000 is not only possible, but relatively straightforward in 2025. This case has been cold for a quarter century primarily because the visual tools available to investigators were limited. Witnesses saw someone. Witnesses saw something. But the sketches created from their descriptions didn't generate recognition. AI-generated photorealistic composites might change that. Not because they're creating new evidence, but because they're presenting existing evidence in a format that human brains can actually process and recognize. The witness who saw the vehicle might look at AI-generated images of every dark green sedan from that era and identify the exact one they saw. That narrows the investigation from thousands of vehicles to specific makes and models that can be traced through registration records. The witnesses who saw the person might look at photorealistic AI composites and recognize someone they know, someone they've seen, someone in the community. That kind of recognition doesn't happen with sketches, but it happens with photographs, and AI-generated composites look like photographs. If you haven't subscribed to Cold Case yet, do it now. We're following this case and the AI composite generation being applied to 25-year-old witness descriptions. When those composites are released, when new images are created showing what the person and vehicle looked like then and what that person looks like now, you'll want to see them. Subscribe and turn on notifications. 25 years is a long time. Witnesses age, memories fade. People move. Communities change, but witness descriptions documented in case files don't change. They're preserved, and in 2025, those preserved descriptions can be turned into visual representations that are light years beyond what was possible in 2000. The person witnesses saw that night probably doesn't know that AI is being used to create photorealistic composites from descriptions given 25 years ago. Probably thinks that quarter century of sketches not leading anywhere means they're safe. But technology doesn't care about time. It cares about data. And the data from witness descriptions in 2000 is being processed by 2025 AI right now. This case could be solved because someone recognizes an AI-generated composite, not a sketch, not an artist's interpretation, but a photorealistic image that looks like an actual photograph of an actual person. That's the power of AI applied to cold cases. It takes evidence that exists but couldn't be properly utilized and transforms it into actionable intelligence. The witnesses who saw something that night in 2000 provided descriptions. Good descriptions, detailed descriptions, multiple corroborating descriptions. But the technology to turn those descriptions into images people could actually recognize didn't exist. It does now, and it's being used. 25 years later, those witness descriptions are finally getting the technological treatment they've been waiting for. AI is ready. The descriptions are waiting, and recognition might finally happen after a quarter century of sketches that weren't enough.